kick this bad boy off. A new edition of Truck Talks. Tyler, Liam, and our boy Giant Mike riding along with us. And Mike, we're riding in one of the Ford Bronco Raptors. What makes the Raptor line unique when we're talking about the Broncos?
The Raptor line is Ford Performance's top line. I mean, it's a well-known brand from the F-150. It's the peak of Ford Performance, basically, there as a factory vehicle, and this is it in a Bronco, which is a very fun off-road vehicle that can be, doors off, top off, fun vehicle.
Let's talk a little Oilers. You're obviously a massive Oilers fan, and we're sitting here. The halfway point of the season has just kind of come and gone. Obviously, I think it's fair to say the first month wasn't a lot of fun, but they turned on the Jets. If you had to slap a letter grade on the Oilers in the first half of the season, what'd you give them?
B+. I think you have to rate the Oilers upon, cup or bust, playoffs. Like, what are they doing to put themselves in a good position for playoffs? And what's really important to that is that, they put themselves in a top spot in the Pacific.
I would probably agree. I think they really have to win that game against Vegas in April on the nation vacation, so that'll be a huge one for them. But yeah, I think just the poor start to the year is really going to put the letter grade slightly down, but the way they've responded in the last little bit has been unreal. So I'd say B+ for the first half of the year too.
B for Bronco.
B for Bronco.
I do agree that winning the Pacific, I think, is massive this year, because last year you had home ice for the first two rounds, but then we saw in the Cup final, who knows how that plays out if you would have had home ice in that last round. Starting the Stanley Cup final on home ice could have totally changed the tune of that whole series. I think I agree. Somewhere in the B range, I think a B or a B+ is probably fair. One of the things I'm kind of curious about with these, because you always hear so much about the Ford tech, and I know in the last truck I drove, it had a bunch of really cool stuff too, but what are some of the high-tech features that come in something like this?
I mean, wireless CarPlay is really nice. You hop in your vehicle, your phone's connected, you have everything you need. I set my map at home, hop in the truck, and it's there. And then the other thing that I get with this is the Ford Pass. That's probably the coolest thing Ford has. It's no subscription fee. You basically just can start. You can be in Rogers Place, game's ending, start your truck when it's parked very far away, and then it's all warm. It tells you, connects you to your vehicle, right?
Yeah.
It tells you everything about it, health reports too, right? So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have that on the Big Nation truck, and it is unreal. When it's -20 and you're in an Oilers game, and you just from your seat fire it up a little bit, and it's warm when you get there. That is good living. Another Oilers question for you, though. Again, with this kind of being the halfway point of the season, or I guess a couple weeks past it, who's been the biggest positive surprise for you so far on this Oilers team?
Biggest surprise, Kapanen's an Oiler and he's on our second line. But Pop Colzing, though, I would say is sneaky good. I mean, he's not killing it on points, 16 points, but I think that fact that he's helping out Draisaitl with this amazing season has been such a really good positive surprise.
Honestly, my answer was going to be Podkolzin too. I think when they acquired him, there was still the overhang, and there still kind of is of they lost Dylan Holloway. Then there was can he replace Dylan Holloway? And I don't think he's ever going to be that high offensively, but the fact you got a guy for a 4th round pick who has now played 2 straight months of really good hockey in your top 6 next to Leon Draisaitl, I think that's an unbelievable piece of work by Stan Bowman.
Yeah, I feel the fact Leon Draisaitl is overtaken McDavid as the best player on this team this season is also slightly a surprise.
Draisaitl being a legit Hart Trophy candidate. Not that I ever doubt Leon Draisaitl, but I did not think he had another Hart Trophy season in him. Liam, let me ask you, what do you make of the interior of this bad boy? It's got the red kind of penciled everywhere. It's pretty sharp.
Yeah, it's really nice. And when we opened the door, we both just it felt like we both stood there and didn't want to get in to disturb anything because it was so nice in here. But it's massive and it's awesome.
Yeah, it definitely feels a little bit too fancy for us. What are some of the top requested things that you get from people when they come look at vehicles?
Top requested thing is going to be, of course, your heated seats, but they tech, you want to know, about everything that's going on with the vehicle connections. That's kind of being connected to the vehicle is huge, and then just sporty BV vehicles, right? This vehicle has 418 horsepower, 440 foot-pounds of torque. People looking for this kind of vehicle want to know, the sports performance aspect of it, and it's basically, Fox exhaust suspension. Like, it's next level kind of stuff. This kind of this vehicle specifically. So a lot of people, they need those kind of details.
See, everyone at the dealership is always so decked out in Oilers gear on an Oilers game day. Do you have any like specific game day rituals, or did you have any during the playoffs that were good luck?
I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious though. I will just have the same kind of jersey, I have a Oilers, one of those, like the big Oilers key chains.
Oh yeah.
I wear the Oilers socks, and and I grow the beard. You can't you can only trim between series, but you can't cut it. So I have those little things I do, but I don't take them too seriously.
I think that's good. Liam's a guy, he will stress eat bananas during the playoffs.
I have a very difficult time during the playoffs because I have so much things going on in my head, and I feel like I'm really part of it, to the extent that when the Oilers went to Game 7 against the Kings, what was it, 3 rounds ago now?
Yeah.
I went to Game 7, and I didn't wear a jersey because I didn't wear a jersey in Game 6. So I was in my DFO hoodie and just some shorts, and stood there, cheered on the Oilers in just a sea of orange, and I was just wearing this bright white jersey, sweater, and yeah, it was probably a bit silly, but they won. So
there were probably people at the game who were like, why is this guy who is not an Oilers fan at Game 7 right now? Like, what is he doing?
Yeah, probably a little too much from me, but whatever it takes, to be honest.
That's fair. That is totally fair.